Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Glen. My name's Glenn. I like to share with you what I learn in the world of cryptocurrency as I go through it. So today we're going to be having a look at the last previous bull runs from the date of the halvening to where we're at today and compare what's happening, what is likely to happen, and what sort of price targets that we can look out for going forward. So let's get right into it. Before we get into today's topic, again, as always, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone that's been smashing up the like button, and also to any new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget you can join Team Glen in the Telegram group chat, or you can join me over on Twitter at Glen, or you can join our Facebook group at Glen as well. But that's enough of me shilling my social media stuff. Let's get right into today's topic. This should be a fairly quick one, but this is actually posted today by Plan B, which is a as it has to be in cryptocurrency, a anonymous, I don't know, data analyst for apparently a Swedish bank, but we don't know. But what he's done is he's put 3 different graphs on one page, comparing where we're at the moment to what's happened previously in the last 2 bull cycles since the halvening. So if you imagine this point down here is where the halvening first happened, this is what's happened to the price. We have Bitcoin November 2012 to 2016, and then we have 16 to 20, and then obviously from 20 till now. So the blue one's the furthest away data, so you can see here, huge run up in price, slight dip, and then a huge run up in price yet again, 9 years ago now, which is crazy to think that far back. Then we have the halvening from the 2016, and that one just almost went straight up. Like it was at a steady pace in relative terms. Obviously in any other stock you would say that that's gone parabolic. And then the red one is where we're at today. So if we have a look, so far this is how many months have passed since the halvening, and you can see that we've gone up. We've had this correction or dip recently, a very similar to this one here actually, but obviously from then, if we compare, if that was like for like, then obviously we can expect a big parabolic run up, which is what I'm predicting and hoping for. And in this blue one here, this darker blue one, you can see yet again there was a dip, only a slight one, but again followed by a huge run up. So almost similar patterns, and this is why we say that history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes, because this isn't like for like. You can't copy and paste that line and say, yeah, that's exactly the same as what happened 4 years later. But it does coincide. The overall narrative is from the date of the halvening, there was a run up, then a dip, then a run up furthermore, and then a dip that lasted for until the next halvening, really. So are we going to see the same again? I believe so. This is what I believe is going to happen. There's a couple of other lines you may have noticed on here. We have this dark green one, which is the S2FX model target, and the S2F. Now, Plan B originally created a stock to flow model, which he then later changed to the stock to flow model. No, stock to flow cross markets. Something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he revised it and improved it, obviously tweaked it. This isn't like sometimes you get people when they do technical analysis and stuff like that, they will change their triangles and lines and rainbow patterns to fit in with their narrative. But he was actually changing what he thought was going to happen going forward, not what's happened previously. So these are the 2 different price targets that based on those models where Bitcoin should be out at some point. Now, if we look at these previous 2 run-ups, we've got the light blue one, way overachieved what the stock to flow model would predict that it would be at, if you like. Then you have the dark blue one, which sort of is in between the 2 lines. Now, where's this red one? This is where we're at today. Where is that going to end up? If it copies either of these, even if it's a slower run up, and we continue to rise up to this mark here. This light green line is $100,000, so that is huge. And you can see on the corner to this graph, it doesn't look like we need much to get there. And if you look at the last few days, Bitcoin is currently now at 40,000. We was at 28 a couple of days ago. So it's gone up almost $10,000 to $12,000 in, like, I swear, like a week. So give it the next 6 months, 100K for me is more than achievable. I almost feel like I would be very disappointed if it didn't achieve that figure. I would. But anyway, this plan B obviously has this other model, which is that stock to flow cross asset model, or whatever it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure someone can comment down below what the exact naming of the model is. I'm sure if I look it up in 2 seconds, I'll find out. But this one is actually priced at something like 288,000 from what I can remember his price prediction being. So we have 100K here. We have 1 million at the top here. Now, if this red one was to repeat the 2012 bull cycle, and we went anywhere near where this blue line is, we would be talking about Bitcoin being worth probably in the region of £700,000. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. I think that's too much. But 288, if you look at these cycles, I would say that they obviously have, they haven't had as huge an impact because the price is so much more, which means the market cap would be so much more. So my prediction is that we're going to see a smaller run up than the previous two, and I can see it being a bit slower as well, not by much. I still think in comparison to stocks and shares and anything like that, it's still going to be, whoa, this is, you know, it's just 5x or whatever, but I believe that this is going to have a slower run up than the previous last two bull cycles, but I do see us hitting over $100,000, so I can see us being around here, and we're going to dip down to either back down to 100K or below, depending on how high up we go. I can see us dipping below that, and obviously this is where you want to be buying back in, because these always tend to be the best times to buy some Bitcoin before, you know, the next. So if you've got money that you think, right, I don't want to touch this money for 3.5 years, 4 years, then that's the point really you want to be buying in at. Not financial advice, but it's just my opinion. You know, Bitcoin last time dropped down to like $3,000 after continuous downward trend after the peak of the bull cycle, and obviously still to this day, you know, a couple years later, that remains true, that was the best time to buy Bitcoin in the last 4 years. So, you know, I think that if this model continues to be true, and obviously plan B is putting out this data, which he will, because obviously if it does start achieving these figures, it's going to prove everything that he's been predicting and he's been criticized for like a couple of years now. He's obviously going to be like, look, this is where we're at, this is what we've achieved my target, It means that everyone's going to be looking at the same data. Like people like me, once we get in between this two green lines, everyone's going to be like, oh, this is, I reckon this is nearing the top now, and they're going to sell off. And if everyone sells off at the same time, then this still will remain true, that there's going to be a big sell-off. It's like self-fulfilling prophecy that it's going to happen. It's going to have a big dip because everyone at the same time will believe this is the top, that's it, I'm getting out. So yeah, I'm really excited what's going to happen over the next 6 to 8 months. I think we're going to see huge runs up because this dip has taken longer than previous ones, I would say, at this point in time. So there's less time now. If our peak is going to be, I would say it's a slower pace one and we don't go as high, I believe we're going to be peaking around here. So I reckon just looking at this model, somewhere around 130, 150,000. And then we're going to see a drop off, but obviously the drop will probably be, I don't know, down here somewhere. So back at probably 70,000, 60,000, something like that. And people are like, oh no, Bitcoin's dead. But that will probably be the best time to buy Bitcoin going forward for the next few years. But if we're thinking long term like that, realistically, looking at the chart and where we're at right now, when is the best time to buy Bitcoin? I'll give you 2 seconds to figure it out. Today. it is today, because if Bitcoin goes on a big run to 130,000, 150,000, then it has a huge correction and it drops 50%. You're talking about it being worth 65,000. Well, today it's 38. So today's the best time to buy it. It's the best time to buy it in the next 4 years. And a lot of people won't believe that, because they'll think, oh, it's just had a huge run up. And so this is why you have to look at it and say, this money that I'm putting into this, you either need to decide, right, am I gonna put this in and cash it out in a week's time, 2 weeks time, 5 weeks time? If that is the case, then yeah, today isn't the best time to buy, because we've just had a 12 grand run up. The chance are it's going to dip 2-3 grand over the next few days or whatever. But if you're thinking, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin and hold it for 4 years, I reckon today is the best time to buy for the next bull run. Not this one, the next. I mean, this one's going to be pretty epic as it is. But I mean, if you're talking, I want to buy something for $30,000 and it be worth 1.2 million, today's that day. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't mess about. Buy some Bitcoin now. Again, not financial advice, just my opinion, just someone that's sitting in a garage. But anyway, that's really it from me. I thought I'd share that with you guys. I don't know, follow Plan B over on his Twitter page. Obviously, you can always comment down below any thoughts you have on this graph. If you think that there's something missing or wrong with any of this data, please get in touch with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But that's really it from me, guys. Don't forget to smash up that like button. Also, click subscribe if you're new to this channel. And hopefully, we will be riding this bull market together over the next few months. See you later, guys. Bye.